Hello, I'm Neil Clark from St Giles Church, and it's my thought for today. In Luke chapter 12, verses 13 to 21, we encounter a parable told by Jesus, often referred to as the parable of the rich fool. It's a simple yet profound story about a man who accumulates wealth only to have his life unexpectedly cut short, revealing the emptiness of his obsession with material possessions. The parable begins when someone in the crowd asks Jesus to settle a family dispute over inheritance. But instead of offering legal advice, Jesus uses the opportunity to highlight a deeper truth. He tells the story of a rich man whose land produced plentiful. In his success, he thought to himself, "What shall I do? For I have nowhere to store my crops." His solution was to tear down the barns and build bigger ones to store all his surplus goods. He decides then to relax and enjoy life, saying, "Soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry." But God's response is chilling. "Fool, this night your soul is required of you, and things you prepared, whose will they be?" The man in his pursuit of wealth and security had neglected the most important thing, his relationship with God and the fleeting nature of life. Jesus concludes the parable with the striking words, "So is the one who lays up treasure for himself and is not rich towards God." At first glance, when you think about the man, he seems to be doing everything right according to the world's standards. He's successful, he has abundance, he's planning for the future. But Jesus calls him a fool because of his wealth. No, but because of his mindset. His folly lies in the assumption that life is about accumulating things, securing a future free from worry, and living for the pleasures of the moment. His wealth has become his identity, his security, and his hope. The key problem is that the rich man lived only for himself. He viewed his possessions as something to hoard rather than something to share. He placed his trust in material wealth instead of the unshakable foundation of God's provision. In doing so, he ignored the fact that life is fragile and uncertain. His plans, all centered around wealth, were ultimately powerless against the fragility of human existence. This parable is a cautionary tale about materialism, but it goes beyond the mere accumulation of wealth. It's about where we place our trust and how we measure success. So often, our culture tells us the more is better, more money, more possessions, more comfort. But Jesus flips this narrative. True wealth is not measured by what you have, but what you are rich in, especially in your relationship with God. The danger of materialism is not just in the act of collecting things, but in the way it can warp our priorities. We find ourselves working tirelessly for a future that may never come, neglecting the people around us and forgetting to invest in what lasts beyond this life: faith, love, and eternal hope. Jesus offers an alternative way of thinking: to be rich towards God. This means recognizing that everything we have is a gift from God, and it should be used to bless others and further his kingdom. It's about living with a sense of stewardship rather than ownership, where we hold our possessions lightly and are ready to use them to serve others. Being rich towards God means investing in things that have eternal value, helping the poor, serving others selflessly, building relationships and growing spirituality. It's not that wealth is an inherent evil. It is our attachment to it, our sense of self-reliance, and our pursuit of it alone, or in all else, can lead us astray. As we reflect on this parable today, it invites us to consider what we are living for. Are we living as the rich fool, chasing after fleeting things, holding our own bigger barns and building them? Or are we seeking to be rich towards God, investing in what truly matters? At the end of the day, none of us can take our material wealth with us. We can take our character, our faith, and the relationships we've built. The rich fool reminds us that life is uncertain, and the pursuit of wealth alone cannot satisfy the deepest longings of our soul. The true treasure is found in a life that is rich in love, faith, and generosity. So let's ask ourselves, what are we truly rich in? What are we investing in today that will bear fruit in eternity? I think we all have to choose wisely. See you soon.